MashaAllah.
Yes.
My brother Ahmed will start.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alright, we heard a lot of good stuff from the other brothers, and I wanted to talk about the negative aspects of social media. So I'm not going to say anything positive here, so excuse me if I said anything wrong. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is Shaitan's favorite meal of the day, basically. Basically the youth who lack knowledge of, youth who go through puberty, or like their early teenage lives, and they don't know what's going on, and they have the least knowledge of what's going on in life. And when it comes to using social media, the big issue is what? Like one of the biggest issues is what? Pornography. Let's talk about that. But that's one of the biggest issues that you would go through. But did you know that there are 24 million Americans that are addicted to online pornography in some form? While many individuals struggle in secret with internet pornography, also the addiction of this, they use it as an escape to get away from hardships or any social lives. But I think, in my opinion, for them being able to get access to these things, has to go also back to the parents. And how Brother Ahmed Azam mentioned before, because if your child's able to use these things and he's thinking in the wrong way or any different way, that means the mistake goes back to you, because you should have let him know more about Islam and more into these things. Because if he was addicted to the Quran instead of this stuff, more addicted to the Salah, he would have been able to use Facebook in a good way, not in a bad way. And Brother Anas is going to share with us a hadith about it.
Narrated about me that he heard the Prophet ﷺ saying, "From among my followers there will be some people who will consider illegal sexual intercourse, the wearing of silk, the drinking of alcohol drinks, and the use of musical instruments as lawful. And from them there will be some who will stay near." Well, I'll skip this part. It's kind of irrelevant. Allah will destroy them during the night and will let the mountain fall on them, and He will transform the rest of them into monkeys and pigs, and they will remain so until the day of resurrection. Sahih al-Bukhari, volume 6.
That doesn't mean Allah is going to turn them into pigs or monkeys right now. I'm just saying. But anyways, yeah, so even though they could be doing these things, but there's always solutions to these things. Just like how they mentioned before, Brother Kinan and Abdul Razak, there's always these ways on Facebook and internet. So it doesn't mean that you should make your sons quit the internet or any of that. There's always, like, for example, we have YM Hawthorne. I'm always on Facebook to check up on new things. For example, Brother Omar there, he posted some, I like the blog today. A friend of ours posted some blog about the Egyptian and the Syrian thing going on, and about how people are racist to each other and making the German word should not. And I really liked it, and I learned from it a lot today. So these are things you can benefit from online, from Facebook and like Twitter, any of those. The second thing I wanted to talk about, which goes to not just youth, it goes to everyone. Because a lot of people use the social media because this is it's like backbiting. You guys know what backbiting is, right? Yeah. So I'm going to use Brother Ahmed Azam and Kinan as an example here. For example, me and Kinan are online. Yeah. Even though you guys might not think you guys know what backbiting is, some of you might think this is not backbiting. So me and him are online, and then we're talking about something. We're saying, "Hey, how are you doing, Kinan?" And everything's going on, right? Then after that, right, we end up talking about Brother Ahmed Azam's lecture, and you know how it's, yeah. We're talking about that kind of stuff. So, but like, this is backbiting, basically. So any form, like, social media, subhanAllah, became like you didn't need to, before you needed people to talk to backbite, but now you could be on the internet far away. You could be in California and some guy could be in New Zealand and you could backbite about something. Like on the internet, and you can see what he's saying, and he could also put an expression face about what's going on. Yeah, and the third thing I wanted to talk about also is the duty you lack as a Muslim in the social media. Honestly, just like how Kenan said, there's so many things on Facebook. Like, for example, I follow the Sheikh, he's like a Mufti, and I see so many things that he posts. He's an Arab Sheikh, but I'm sorry. But like, he posts so many things. For example, the other day I learned there's 3 kinds of whales. Whales are like the dungeons in Jahannam. Dungeons in Jahannam. I know each of them is a punishment for some kind of prayer. People who pray in one day, pray all the prayers in one time. People who pray prayers late, and people who don't pray. There's punishment for each one of them. That got me even more scared, and I like that. These kind of things are the things that you guys need to look up to. And then a lot of things that you could do is teach people about Quran. For example, Brother Ahmed Azam, he's always posting stuff about Egypt and like Syria, and I always see that stuff. And I like it, and I read it, and I'm interested in that stuff. Because if you see youth interested in Facebook, and for example, I'm friends with somebody else, and he's not interested in any of that stuff. And then I post some Islamic stuff, and he's like, "What is this?" And then he comes to me, "Okay, I'll meet you up at the masjid." Like, it leads to this kind of stuff. That's why we have RYM. It grew up from like 10 people. Now we have like 30 kids in the youth. Subhanallah. Just from this kind of stuff. Just Facebook itself. We're gonna have more youth, I know, and we're gonna have more youth leaders. That's why every Friday now we're starting to have a speaker. 15-year-olds are giving talks right now. I'm 20 years old. I'm just sitting on the side watching them teach me now. This is all happening. Each one of you guys have to take a part in this, not just me. Even the older people, teaching Quran, tajweed, anything that can benefit you. Anas, you want to continue?
Yeah. Also, Facebook has, as like all said, huge impact, and also on our Islamic character as Muslims. One of the big things you see on, like, when you go on Facebook and you're scrolling through newsfeed, you see people not, how can I say, being proud or showing off, like showing off their muscles, taking pictures of their cars, their meals. Oh, look, I ate this food, I work out here, look at my muscles, I'm so strong. And as we know, this isn't something a Muslim should be doing. You shouldn't be showing off, making people feel inferior, you know. And also, had I heard somewhere. Ya Allah. In Surah Al-Rahman, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ولا تصعر خدك للناس ولا تمشي في الأرض مرحا إن الله لا يحب كل مختال فخور. And turn not your face away from men with pride, nor walk in insolence through the earth. Verily, Allah likes not any arrogant boasters. So, if Facebook increases the chances of us like actually falling into doing something like this. So, maybe, يعني, how can I say this? Basically, if they're on Facebook, increasing the chance of them boasting, but like Brother Ahmad said, if we fortify their belief from before when they're young and while they're growing up, once they get on Facebook, they won't fall into stuff like this and know how to be aware of them. Also, one thing you really notice on Facebook is interactions between opposite genders. You know, being on Facebook, you know, maybe you can talk about a religious thing and then like maybe a comment, maybe something else, and you end up talking about something totally unrelated, and this is not allowed, of course. Unless it's something needed, something necessary, you really should avoid interaction like this. And Facebook increases the chances of you also falling into something like this and like becoming friends, Facebook friends, and talking about totally irrelevant things. And this also is haram. Or not say haram, but let's just say not wanted.
So in conclusion, I wanted to say that the use of social media has a lot of bad and good to it, but if you notice that most of what we said had a lot of facts and good facts to it. And if you can talk the talk but not walk the walk, I mean, just don't do it. Because what's the point if you can't put in the effort into fixing yourself? Because yesterday the Shaykh in the khutbah says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. So Allah, مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ. So that means Allah does not change other people unless you change yourself first. You have to take the step first, the first initiative into this thing. Because Allah, and also, I'm not saying it for you guys only, this is a reminder for me too. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in the Quran, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ فَلَهُمْ أَجْرٌ غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ. Except those who accepted faith and did good deeds, for them is a never-ending reward. So subhanallah, by you taking a step forward to this, and helping your brothers, helping also, you can anything. Helping a relative, saying hi to relatives, because that's a form of, you're getting hasanat for that too. Saying hi to your brothers, making people like your friends from work or accepting Islam, all these kind of things. You don't have to take pride in it, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give reward for it. Assalamu alaikum.